Hey guys, Joe on it coming back in with another battle replay for Rome 2. We have a field battle here between Parthia and Swaby taking on Rome and Egypt. So this is a pretty tough battle here for these armies on this side. Actually, I'm controlling Parthia, so let's get into the army comps real quick. We'll get over and start doing that real quick. Like I said, I'm controlling Parthia here. My general is a unit of the Noble Horse Archers. My front line here of as far as infantry will be 5 units of my Persian hoplites and also 2 units of the mercenary hoplites. On either flank I have a unit of hillmen and the Parthian swordsmen. My cavalry that I have brought with me, I have 2 units of the Eastern Cataphracts, also unit of my camel spearmen, and I also had brought with me a unit of the median cavalry. As far as my archers are concerned, I had brought 4 units of the elite Persian archers, so that rounds out my force. Then we move over to my ally here. He is Aragon the Dunedain. He is controlling Swaby. He has 4 units of swordmasters, one of them being his general here. This is his second line, well, his main line basically. Up front he's got his 3 units of Germanic slingers. He's got a unit of spear levy here. He's got also a couple of units of berserkers here in his rear line, along with 4 other units of bloodsworn here. His cavalry presence is 3 units of the Germanic scout riders. Oh, sorry, 4. You're right. 4 units of the Germanic Scout Riders, 2 on either flank. Apologies for that. And he also has 2 units of Spear Levy in front of his Horse Archers. Let's get on over here to Rome. Rome is being commanded by Legat 49. His general is a unit of the General's Bodyguard. He has also brought with him 3 units of Equites. He's got 4 levies back here in his rear line here, also being defended by 2 units of Gladiator Spearmen. He's got 5 units of Legionnaires here, they're not in the formation yet, but they do switch into their Testudo formation, and he also has 5 units of the Evocate cohort here for his front line. And last but not least, let's get over here to Egypt. Egypt is being commanded by Pizza Boy. His general is a unit of Ptolemaic cavalry, very heavy shock cavalry, so that will be very interesting for us to have to deal with. He also has brought with him 4 units of the Egyptian cavalry, 2 on this flank, 2 on this flank over here. He's brought with him 4 units of the Thurio spears, 4 units of thorax swords. He also has 3 units of mercenary Cretan archers and 2 units of mercenary bowmen. Or Nubian bowmen, sorry. So let's get this one going here. As you can see, it's not a very long replay, so probably going to wrap this up pretty quickly. You guys are going to have to keep an eye and see what all goes on here. Swaby is moving up his entire army. I think I start moving up my army rather quickly as well. We are obviously lesser armored troops than what they have, so we're going to have to try and do the best that we can as fast as possible, as Rome being one of the more powerful, if not, arguments said, if not the most powerful faction in the game, at least in the top 3 powerful factions in the game. So it's going to be quite interesting to see Rome and Swaby going at it here. We do have Egypt has moved over 2 units of his Egyptian cavalry over here in front of the entire Roman force. He is also moving the remaining parts of his units all the way over here to button up closer with Rome here, and as you can see, all of the yellow dots right there, that is all of these legionnaires now changing into their attacking Testudo. Swaby has moved out 2 units of his Germanic scout riders, trying to maybe get some shots off, but I guess he's realizing that the cavalry pulling back, better off for him to just pull back and reform up his lines. Back over onto my side, like I said, this is a little bit of just moving units around and everything. Back onto my side, I had moved a unit of my camel spearmen and one of my units of Eastern Cataphracts out here onto the flank. Wasn't entirely sure what Egypt was going to do here. Now that I'm noticing that he's starting to form up his lines, he's actually coming out with a couple of units of his cavalry here. My archers are really undefended, so I'm going to have to fall them back quickly, try and get them behind my spears, and hopefully my spears end up Well, actually, he stops. Okay, so that charge ended up stopping. Now he's starting to move up some of his mercenary Cretan archer units and Nubian bow units as well. Probably going to try and get some shots off onto my spearmen here. Maybe some of my swordsmen. So my front line now has finished forming side of these 3 units on this flank who did run from way over there. So they are now starting to finally fill out my front line here. We do have a Swabian archer cavalry going in for a charge here on a unit of Nubian bowmen, and they're going to get a really good charge there, just hitting them as they're trying to run away. So very well done there by Aragon here. Quickly being followed up by Egyptian cavalry, a lot of archer fire coming in from the mercenary Cretan archers. Some of the slingers over here were starting to try and get some shots off as well. Egypt is now starting to move over his 4 units of his thorax swordsmen over here, starting to form up, going to push over towards my front line of spears here. I am also trying to use all 4 of my units of archers at one time to start dwindling down his archer numbers. More cavalry starting to move around over here for Egypt. As you can see, his 4 units of thorax swordsmen do not look like they're going to stop. Probably just going to come right in and bash in. Let's see what the cavalry is doing. Egypt is also starting to move his spearmen over onto that side. And the initial engagement here, so this battle is now finally underway with military, as far as the infantry aspect of the fight, I should say. Sorry about that. But these couple of units of hoplites over here are just getting absolutely rained down upon by these archers, which my ally here is starting to notice. He starts coming around, getting some big... nope, he pulls back around. Okay. I thought he was going to get some big charges in onto those Thurio spears. I move up my unit of hillmen and swordsmen on this side to just kind of strengthen up my line a little bit. I noticed that my cataphracts are over here with my median cavalry getting into a fight with all 4 units of the Egyptian cavalry, and the Egyptian general is right here. So I start peeling my melee units off over to here to try and catch in their general, in hopes of catching in their general at least. Starting to move over some of my camel spearmen. My other unit of cataphracts on this side, my general has pushed up as well, as I see that his entire archer force here is completely unprotected. He's trying to quickly get some of his Egyptian cavalry over here to catch up with these absolutely fantastic camels. Absolutely fantastic camels, but they will not stop. The unit of Egyptian cavalry had charged into the back of them, but my camels just did not stop running and were able to get into some of the Nubian bowmen, some of the mercenary Cretan archers here. The Egyptian general has been surrounded now. I have Eastern cataphracts, 2 units of Eastern cataphracts here. We also have pinned down his Egyptian cavalry over here, at least 2 of his units of Egyptian cavalry. So we're doing rather well on this side. Let's get over to the Swabian and Rome side, see how we're going over here. Rome is just getting a big push. He's coming straight up the middle, pushing off some of the forces on the spear levy here and Bloodsworn for the Swabian troops over on this side. I also had pushed over a unit of my Parthian swordsmen to give my ally a hand. His slingers unit here are out of position slightly, but they are fighting they're going to be taking on some Evocati cohort, but they are in the attacking Testudo, so they are going to be moving very slowly, but they do have, as you can see, they do have all of their shields up in their turtle formation, if you will, so they'll start taking some deaths now that the slingers are able to get some flanking fire in on them. So that will be good for my Swabian ally. He also has his 2 units of his Germanic scout riders over here, so getting some really good rear shots in. Here comes a big charge of the spear levy into a unit of the gladiatory spearmen, so that should be a pretty good battle. Would say that the spear levy should be able to win, but gladiators are beasts. Let's hop back over onto my side. As you can see, in that quick amount of time, I was able to rout the Egyptian general off of battlefield, and Egypt is pretty much all but gone. My cavalry was able to get into their archers in the rear lines here. I'm completely surrounding the 3 units of the thorax swordsmen that were still over here. He did have 4 units. One of them was immediately routed off of the battlefield. I pretty much just surrounded them. So now I'm going to start moving my archers over onto the other side behind my ally here to help him with Rome. Not that it doesn't really seem like he's needing the help, though. I mean, they're doing rather well. They're holding them off pretty good. As you can see, a lot of the Rome flags here are wavering, routing off of the battlefield. Here comes a nice charge in with some of his scout riders into the back of a unit of legionnaires, so that's very, very well done here. That unit of legionnaires Evocati cohort had turned to try and catch in the Germanic scout riders, but his slingers were on the right exact spot to get some really good shots in on the rear of them. Let's see, is the Roman general here in the center, having a battle here against some of the swordmasters from Suebi, but as you can see, the general's bodyguard for Rome is just absolutely getting cut to pieces by these swordmasters. General bodyguard only has 12 men left in this unit, swordmasters with 47. Another unit coming in here, unit of Bloodsworn coming in to close in the distance between themselves and the general's bodyguard. General's bodyguard for Rome was able to get himself out of combat, but he ran basically pretty much right into the rest of my army that was coming wrapping around. Germanic scout riders did catch back up with the general's bodyguard. Sorry about that. My Parthian swordsman basically ran right past him. Now they're starting to surround him again. We have some archer fire coming in from my noble horse. We got about 20 seconds left in this battle, so yeah, as you can see, it's definitely over. I was honestly very shocked that we were able to do to Rome and Egypt what we did as quickly as we did. I mean, like I said, the Parthian army and the Suebi army, not very well armored, nowhere near as armored as the Egyptian forces and the Roman forces, obviously. So I just want to say, Aragon, that was a hell of a battle, man. I was glad that you were on my side there. Legat and Pizza Boy, you know, sometimes you got to take a roll of the dice, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So it happens. It's still a game, still meant to be fun. So let's quickly go over some army comps here real quick. The 4 units of Swordmasters here for Suebi, 72, 47, 69, and 81. His 2 units of Berserkers, 43 and 40. His 4 units of his Germanic Scout Riders, 28, 89, 26, and 38. His 3 units of Slingers, they did what they needed to do. I mean, like I said, you saw it was a very quick battle, 8 minutes and 11 seconds long, so they didn't really have that long of an opportunity to get a lot of kills in. So his Slingers with 30, 53, and 18. His 4 units of Bloodsworn, 75, 86, 51, 66. And his 3 units here of Spear Levy, 27, 12, and 9. Let's get over to my army here. With Parthia, my general, with 52 kills. Camel Spearman, who was the first unit that got into Egypt's archer lines there. 116. Eastern Cataphracts, 47 and 42. And Median Cavalry was 72. My archers really didn't need to do a whole lot either. 10, 16, 8, 5. Hillman with 41 and 102 with this one. So this is the unit that I believe I sent over in to help Suebi out with the Roman armies. Mercenary Hoplites, 11 and 17. Parthian Swordsmen, again, doing very well. 101, 108 kills. And my spears, you know, they just did what they were supposed to do. They held the front line for as long as they needed to in order to rout out the Egyptian forces. So Persian Hoplites here with 20, 21, 3, 20, and 12. Let's get on over to the Roman army, who again was commanded by Legat 49. His general was 16, 3 units of Equites, 41, 28, and 4. His ranged units of levies, or levs, I guess it's leves maybe, 15, 13, 16, and 2. His gladiator spearman, Gladiator, there we go, I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Unbelievable. 19 and 41. We get to his Evocati cohort spear line, his Evocati sword line. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Just didn't really get a lot of sleep last night. 66, 10, 13, 57, and 3. And then we get to his Legionnaire line of 52, 36, 16, 52, and 38. These two lines of melee units did get several rear charges. If you watch the replay again, you'll be able to see that they were being surrounded by a lot of cavalry. And then let's get over to Egypt real quick, who was commanded again by Pizza Boy. Ptolemaic Cav with 11 kills. They got surrounded by my units and were quickly routed off the battlefield. His 4 units of Egyptian cavalry, again, not very high numbers here, 17, 21, 13, and 5. His archer den got absolutely obliterated by my my camel spearmen here, and then I believe another unit of my Eastern Cataphracts got in to help them out. So with a 12, 25, 20, 10, and 1. His Thorax Swordsman here, 35. This one with 160. So they did it. They had a good showing there, 56 and 72. And then into his Thurio Spear line, we had 29, 35, 22, and 0. So, guys, it was a fun, quick battle replay. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. And I just wanted to throw out another reminder that I myself am a part of the Backseat Generals. It is myself, Gore Mjolnir, and Lord Ellington. I will make sure to put their links down into the bottom of the video there for the description. Alright guys, I will talk to you soon.